Hey guys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hey guys, how's it going, TheElectronMan? Well, we're going to have a fun one today. We're going to install a new AC in my man cave. I purchased this Hisense 8000 BTU inverter AC, and notice I said inverter. Actually, I did like an Medea, I think as that's pronounced, 8000 BTU in my house, and I found out these inverter ACs, not only do they use like half the power, but the cooling on them is amazing. Basically, these inverter ACs, they use a ramp up and down compressor, and meaning that on a typical window unit, it just the compressor turns off and then starts back. On this one, it actually slows down and speeds up. And I from the one I put in the house, I found out that they just maintain the temperature of your room so much better. It's amazing. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the hardware out of here. First thing, it comes with this neat outside our wall bracket to mount it on, which I like that it actually gives it extra support. I wish my other one had that. I have to give Hisense a kudos on that. And man, look at all the hardware it comes with. These are the side windows. Obviously after you set the AC down, you have to fill in the gaps. There's the remote there. Another bracket there. I'll tell you, they definitely provided enough brackets to get this thing installed. Here's even more brackets, but let me go ahead and there's some foam for sealing around it once you get it installed. But man, I can't believe how many brackets they gave. It'll be interesting to see how neat this thing gets installed. But anyway, let's go ahead and get it out of the box. It's kind of cool. As you can see, it only uses like 6 inches of the gap of the window. You don't have to have the whole window taken up. And obviously, that's less area that you have to worry about air getting in. And it's also gives you more view of your window. And I just like the idea. And check out the it's what is it, 15 SEER and $38 a year. I don't know about all that with electric bills here, but whatever. Very efficient. I've already found that out from the other one. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the window. Here's the window I'm going to install it in. This is in the man cave. Boy, looks like I could use a coat of paint and some cleaning, but it's it's the man cave. I'm not really worried about that right now. But anyway, first thing it says to do is use this bracket here, and there's a short one and a long one, and my window's like 34, 35 inches wide, so I'm going to use the long one. And it says just to take it and lay it over the lip like that. And that's it. That's all you got to do. And then we'll go outside and we'll take a look at the outside of how it sits on the outside of the wall after the lip over there. Okay, here's how the outside of that bracket looks, which is pretty cool. As you can see, it just hooks over the lip of the inside of the window, and then it has these two legs that come down here, and basically you just lift it up and it's got little slots, and you just move the leg into the slot. And you want to have about a 3-degree tilt to the outside when you get it mounted to help for the water to drain out of it. You don't want the tilt towards the window, where it could bring, air conditioners take moisture out of the air, so you obviously going to have moisture you need to deal with it. Okay, I did run into one little problem here. As you can see, I've got it moved over the farthest, and my corrugated is not going to fit, so I'm going to have to come up with a solution, which basically what I ended up doing was cutting two 2x4s, just like 4 inches long with treated lumber, so that I could keep the air conditioner centered in the window. I could have moved it over to the left and avoided the ribs, but I'd rather keep it centered. So, yeah, I know that's kind of janky, but it's on the shop window, and I'd rather have the air conditioning centered. So I just put those spacers. Okay, now that I've got it all set up there, the bolts I was talking about, they come with the kit, but you just put those two bolts there. I got about my 3 degrees. Then you just put 2 screws to mount the sides there to the sill, and basically that is all you got to do to the bracket. Pretty dang simple if you ask me. Other than me having a couple cut wood blocks because of the corrugated steel, if I hadn't had to do that, would have been like literally a 5-minute job. Well, let's go ahead and get the air conditioner lifted up in there. Okay, let's get this thing lifted up in here. I'm actually outside there bringing it in now. They say to do it from the outside in or inside out, but for me, since I was ground level, I just found it easier to lift it up and put it in from the outside in, because I would have had to tilt it kind of awkward to get it to fit through the window. So I just felt like doing it from the outside in would be the easier way to do it. And I'm just going to kind of put that there. And there's a couple of plastic brackets that I forgot the video, but that kind of keep it from sliding off that bracket once you set it on there. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back inside now. Okay, now that we're back inside, I just need to make sure it's kind of centered on the bracket real good, and I need to put down the rubber stripping along the bottom there. I actually probably should have done that before I lifted it up and put it in the window. If you're doing this, I would suggest that you put that rubber seal down first, but I didn't think about it till I walked back in there and saw it sitting on the chair that I need to put that rubber seal. Not a big deal, though. I think I can just lift the front of it up and put that rubber, it's just that piece of foam, but you want a piece of foam along the bottom there so that there's not any air gaps where air can get in and no light or anything else. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this rubber strip here, and basically I'll just kind of, like I said, it's got those brackets on the back, so I really don't have to worry about it falling out, but I'm just trying to be careful. God knows it's brand new because I don't want to drop it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this rubber foam. It's just, single-sided adhesive foam. You just pull back the backing and you just stick it along that bottom bracket. That just gives you a good seal between the air conditioner and the mounting bracket, the exterior mounting bracket. But anyway, it'd have been easier for me to do this if I had done it before I lifted the air conditioner, but I'm sure not going to take the air conditioner out for this. I think I could just hold it up and get it sorted out here, get it straightened out. Not the end of the world, but yeah, you want to put that rubber strip down, then set your air conditioner in there. But there we go. I got her. No big deal. And like I said, I just want to get good and centered, and there we go. Let's move on to the next thing, which will be putting the side curtains on. Okay, guys, here's the side curtains, and they kind of just notch into the side there. And sorry, I probably should have been more detailed on these, but basically they just notch in there. And there's actually a long one and a short one. I had to use the long one. They have a short one and a line. They actually give you two options on these side curtains depending on the width of your window, but I ended up using the long ones. But I'm marking it with a pin here because I think personally it says to go ahead and mount it and then cut the foam. But I think if I mark it with a pin, I could pull it out and take the foam and set it against it, draw a pin, and I think I can do a better job of cutting the foam than trying to mount it in the window permanently like there and then cut the foam afterwards. See what I'm saying? Is this way I'd have to I could measure it, but it just seemed easier to me to just mark it with a pin, and since I don't have anything permanently mounted in here right now, I can just lift it out. Now that I know the exact width that I've got marked with the pin, I'll just take it over here, take the foam, match it up at the side there, cut the foam, fit it in there, and then I'll put it permanently back in the window. Personally, I think that's an easier way to do it, but you could do it either way. But see, I cut the foam. I know that it's right because I already pre-measured it. And now all I got to do is slide it in there one last time and lock it in there. And we've got that side pretty much done. A little bit more sealing and tweaking to do, but for the most part, that side curtain's installed with the insulation. Now we just need to work on the other side, which I will do basically the exact same thing on it as I did on this one. Okay, again, here's the other side. Did the same thing. I marked it with my pen. I'll go ahead and take that foam insulation and cut it to size like this. And then voila, we'll go ahead and just take it and slide it in, and there you go. I got both sides of it done. Not too hard to do. Now you just need to do the same thing as you did on the bottom. You need to run a piece of that foam tape to insulate it, or fill in the air gaps between where your window shuts down and the top of the air conditioner. I used the thin one. They had a thick gray one, but for my particular window, I thought the thin one would be fine because it has a rubber gasket there anyway, and I did not have much of a gap to fill, so I just went ahead and used the thinner black. It actually had three pieces. It had two pieces of this thinner and then some gray thick, and I didn't need the gray thick. The thinner ones worked fine in my installation. But anyway, as you can see, I'm doing the same thing I did on the bottom. You just lay the foam down like that. And then now basically the final thing to do is to, we'll shut the window down nice and snug against it. And that's pretty much, that's the installation. I'll make sure there's not any air gaps or anything, but it really fit in there nice. And this has been an easy job. Okay, guys, let's take one last look at it. As you can see, it's hot as heck outside, so I got that baby already running. But as you can tell, we're all nice and fitted there. It looks good on that. Go around the back side and inspect it. I'm not seeing any air getting through, any light getting through. Actually, really a pretty simple job. Hey, probably took me less than an hour to install this whole thing. And I have to say, with the remote, which the only downside on the remote is it's not backlit, so it's kind of hard to see. And I wish there was more buttons on the AC because without the remote, but it does have Wi-Fi, so you can control it by your phone as well. But hey, for the price, I bought it, for a little under $300. Actually, one heck of an air conditioner. Anyway, hopefully this helps you install yours. I know I kind of rushed through it, but anyway, if you haven't already, please subscribe and have a great day.